A country in which humans have lived since the Middle Ages, where different nationalities have met throughout history, with immense natural resources, and whose gold was traded as far away as the Mediterranean. A country which was later conquered and colonised by Europeans. A country which, thanks to enormous reserves of gold, was named by its conquerors the Gold Coast. A country laying in West Africa, on the coast of the Gulf of Guinea, Ghana. The Portuguese first arrived on the coast of current Ghana in the 15th century and built a fortress called Elmina Castle in the central part of its coast in 1482. It was the first trade settlement in the Gulf of Guinea and was also the first building made by Europeans south of the Sahara Desert. Besides gold and ivory, the castle became an important point in the European trade of African slaves and remained so after Ghana was conquered by the Dutch in 1637 and by the English in 1872. Right here on the beach under the fortress, we can see, even in present times, why this former colony was given the name Gold Coast. Most gold mining in central parts of Ghana is carried out by big foreign companies, but here small prospectors try to find their fortune on beaches under Elmina Castle. They are digging and transferring tons of beach sand day by day. Using seawater, they slowly and carefully wash the sand through simple cradle equipment. Sloped wooden gutters are covered by old carpets, and the grains of sand are allowed to drift by, carried in the water. But the heaviest pieces of gold, even though they are microscopic, settle among the hair of the carpets. By digging and cradling in this way, prospectors try to earn at least something for their modest life, but they risk their own health. One of them told us why.
Mercury. Mercury you can take, it can guide out. If you take the mercury put for this black salt, you gather all the money and it can be one. Yeah, so it'll be small, so the mercury will gather all.
Besides gold miners, we can also meet lots of fishermen who depend on the sea on Ghanaian beaches. Every day, simple fishing boats sail the sea with their crews who provide food and income for their families by fishing and selling the fish. Those who don't sail the sea take care of nets and other fishing equipment so that it's still in usable condition. They are usually old men who, besides the skillful and patient work of repairing nets and equipment, take care of young sailors. And fishermen have led us to another fortress in the town of Cape Coast, which is around 13 kilometres to the east from Elmina Castle. Originally a wooden construction was built here in 1653 by Swedish gold and timber merchants. It was rebuilt as a stone fortress, which later on came into Danish, French and finally British hands, and the British colonial government's headquarters were based here. This fortress's main significance is that it was the main point of the slave trade in West Africa. Many dungeons were built in the cellar, as it could admit up to 1,000 slaves waiting to be transported to America. It seems that the fortress and its surroundings could become a trap for somebody even today. But this time it has turned out well. Today's Cape Coast, with more than 80,000 inhabitants and 2 universities, is the capital of the central region and is a colourful mix of cultures and religions. One of the local sites is the statue of a crab, which is the symbol of the town. A town which in 2009 welcomed a special visitor, which remains in local people's minds until today.
Ghana President.
But let's come to have a look nearly 35 kilometres to the north, into Kakum National Park. Across 350 square kilometres we can meet rare forest elephants, buffaloes and antelopes, more than 200 species of birds and about 500 species of butterflies live here. The national park was proclaimed here in 1960, and with thanks to this, the area of original tropical rainforest in West Africa has been preserved, while the majority of the rest of the natural rainforest has been almost totally cut down. Let's hear from the guard of the national park.
This is the ebony tree. It is also known as Esono Afi. Esono means an elephant. Afi is the comb. So this is the elephant comb. But the elephant doesn't use to comb the hair. The elephant used for scratching their body. If the elephant are passing, this is the only tree they'll be using for the scratching of their self. And the wood itself is black wood for carvings, for the instrumental organs. Like the keys of the pianos are from the ebony tree. So if you are having any furniture made by the ebony, but you haven't seen the ebony tree before, this is the naturally ebony tree in the rainforest. And this one is the strangling fig. And the strangling fig is called amangidia, and it is the parasite. And a parasite, it always depends on another thing, and later on it kills the first person. So this tree, the whole tree is dead now. You can see the whole tree lying down there. You can see, yeah. So the whole tree was here together with the fig. And when the fig got matured, it sent the message to the whole tree that I'm now also matured like you. So both of us, we are now 2 captains. We are mature ones. We can never stay in one room together. So that time, the strangling fig started eating all the food from the host tree, and then the host tree have nothing to do.
Kakum National Park is also famous because of the opportunity to view the rainforest right up in the canopy of the treetops from the bridges hanging among the trees.
It was built in 1994 and officially it was opened in 1995. If you are going to finish all the bridges, it's 7 bridges you are going to finish. And the 7 bridges doesn't go straight to the end. It goes something like a U-turn, and the whole size is 350 meters length. And the highest point is 40 meters from the ground.
Let's have a look at another place where original lifestyle has been preserved, the Stilt Village of Nzulezo. To get to the village, which is as close as 20 kilometres from the Côte d'Ivoire's border, we have to get the help of a local guide to take us through 2.5 kilometres long artificial canal up to Lake Amansouri. As soon as we reach the surface of the open lake, far away in front of us we can see the first stilt houses. Why did those people choose to settle and live above the waters of the lake? And where had they come from?
From Mali. Do you know Mali? That's where they came from, and then there's a war. Then they ran away to save their life. So they are there to protect their life from enemies. And then they have been there for about 500 years now.
Here, villagers live their quiet, sleepy way of life, which hasn't changed much since the time of their arrival. Just like at those times, they still get their food from the lake and the small gardens behind the village. They cook food on an open fire, and small children love to help.
The money you pay the day come to them. They give it to them, so the money you pay.
Local people have established a primary school here so that the children have the opportunity to prepare themselves for further studies or life out of this forgotten corner of the world. The Mayor is pleased to show us not only the school, but also the solar panel on the roof, which supplies electricity for the school.
The chair in the school.
Now we will have a look at where Ghana as a whole gets the majority of its electricity supply, to Lake Volta and its Accra Dam. Lake Volta, which is the biggest man-made lake by surface area in the world, was completed on the River Volta in 1965 when the dam was finished after 4 years of construction. Ghana decided to build the lake only after getting independence from Great Britain in 1957. The dam was financed by the Ghanaian government and an American company, Valco, which wanted to build an aluminium factory in Ghana. Each of them invested half of the money in the construction, but Valco did it only on the condition that 4/5 of the electricity produced would be used in the aluminium factory. Only 1/5 was planned to be used by Ghana. This agreement stopped only a few years ago. Some experts see this as a typical case of unfair relations between a developing country and a big Western company. Let's shift to our last stop in Ghana, to the capital, Accra. And how else than in the typical means of transport, the trotro. These vans are used by the majority of local people to travel relatively quickly and cheaply to all the parts of the city, a city of more than 2 million inhabitants, which was established in the 16th century by the tribal Ga people. As in other parts of Ghana, we can see many contrasts here. There are busy and chaotic areas with small, crowded streets and simple houses. But in other places, we see that the city is developing and growing quickly, especially with the construction of high buildings of banks, mobile operators, and other big companies. The majority of people go shopping to traditional markets, but others go, as in Europe, to large shopping malls right in the centre of the city. Somewhere where the progress of development is most obvious is in the building of new roads. Accra is an important intersection, and construction of roads and motorways can be seen on nearly every corner. Accra is a large city, which brings together so many different areas, people and buildings. Here in Accra, we can clearly see in the streets how quickly Ghana is changing, on its way from its history of trade in slaves to becoming the modern, self-confident and developed country that we can see today.